Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bellaocity Travel channel. My name is Trish, and today we want to talk about some things. Okay, I want to talk about some things that they don't tell you about Thailand. Okay, so I hope that everyone is having a good weekend. Let me fix my camera here. I hope everyone is having a very good weekend and that everyone is warm and you know doing some good activities. I hope the weather is good. I don't know if you guys know, but it's been snowing here, and I want to make sure that um, that everything is going well with the live because I this is my first time doing live this way. So I want to make sure that everything is going well with this stream. So I'm using a streaming platform this time. So I want to make sure that everything is going well. So I'm using. All right. So welcome back to Bellaocity Travel. Again, my name is Trish, and if you don't know, I am a digital nomad from the U.S. That is currently living in Batumi, Georgia. So, travel can be a headache for anyone. And a lot of times there's a lot of information out there about, you know, um, things to see, things to do, places to go, things like that. And whenever you get ready to travel, you want to make sure that you're looking at the most updated information about a particular travel destination, right? And sometimes, I think even as um, I guess, people who like to travel, sometimes we just get caught up in all of the good things and, the culture and things to do and things to see and things like that. And we sometimes just really forget about the things that are most important, right? So we want to stay safe and we want to get the best information we can before we actually travel to a particular destination. So today I want to talk about Thailand because Thailand is a hot country right now. Everybody wants to move to Thailand, and it is a topic of discussion. They have some new visas. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to talk about the culture, the food, and some other important things that are going on. So, to let you guys know, so I'm in Batumi, Georgia. I think I said that before. And my original plan was to leave Batumi in May and go to Thailand. Okay. But since that has changed, because of some things that are going on there. So I actually lived in Thailand for a year in 2022, and I was there for a year. And I can say that I enjoyed my time there, but there were some things that I was not aware of before I actually moved to Thailand. And even now, when I look online and I see all of the YouTubers, everyone is talking about, how cost effective Thailand is and these beautiful apartments that you can move into. And they're talking about, all of these things in Thailand. But I think some things they're leaving out. They're really not talking about, what's going on right now. So the first thing that you need to know is between the months of about February, I would say the end of January till April, it's called burning season. Okay. And this is something that people don't talk about, right? Because if you're planning a trip to Thailand, you need to know the best time to go. You want to go after April. Okay. Because between January to April, it's burning season. And what burning season is that a lot of the farmers are burning off their crops, their old crops, and get from the year before or from last year. And there is a lot of smog and fumes and things like particles and stuff like that in the atmosphere. Not only that, Thailand does have the worst pollution in the world. One of the countries with the worst pollution in the world besides India. So what happens is you have some of the other countries like China, and you have some of the bigger countries that have a lot of factories and stuff. So, and also like smaller countries like Myanmar. So because Thailand is in the southern part of Asia, they get a lot of the burning from the factories and things like that, and from other farmers and crops and stuff from other countries. And it affects the environment as well as causing air pollution and causing smog. Okay. When I say smog, I mean that there were times where I could see the building in front of me. And during the days that there was a lot of smog, I couldn't see the building at all. Or I could see the mountains behind me, but then on the days that it was a lot of smog and pollution, I couldn't see the building. Okay. This is very dangerous because sometimes, even if you don't see the smog, it's there. And the best thing to do is to have an app where you can check your air quality. Okay. Now, with air quality, there are countries that have the best air quality in the world, right? Air quality is always green. Okay. So you have different colors kind of indicating how good the air is. You have green, which is good. You have orange and yellow, which yellow in most countries are around the yellow oranges color on the indicator, which is fair. Okay, green is very good. But then you get to Thailand and it goes from orange to red to pink, to red, which is bad, and to purple, which is the worst pollution, right? So on those days that it is orange and red, they tell people to stay home. And even lately, there was a video, also, a news article that was saying that the pollution was so bad one day that they gave free transportation, like on the MRT and things like that, and the buses. And the schools were closed. I think it was like over 400 schools were closed because the pollution was so bad. The smog was so bad. So I actually have a video clip that I want to show you guys just sort of how it looks. So I'm going to actually share my screen with you. And they're actually trying to, fix this problem. So I want to share my screen with you so you can kind of see what's going on. And this is from skynews.com. So I'm going to share a little bit of this with you guys so you can see. So just take a look at this. All right. So basically, with Sky News, they're talking about the problem. And this was from about a month ago. So remember, we are right in the burning season. It should be coming to an end in another month, but not just during burning season. When it is not burning season as well, the pollution is bad. Okay. This is the worst part. The worst time is from January to about April. Okay. So I want to show you guys what's going on there.
In Thailand, the government hopes this will lift a toxic haze hanging over them. They're pumping water onto planes to battle.
Okay, so actually, let me start this.
In Thailand, the government hopes this will lift a toxic haze hanging over them. They're pumping water onto planes to battle air pollution. We're on board what they call the Rainmaker. Are you surprised by how bad the smog is right now?
Yes, I'm very surprised. I think it's higher every year.
The big worry right now are the PM 2.5 levels, cancer-causing particles that get into the lungs and bloodstream. Recently, they were...
Okay, guys. So they're talking about the particles, and if you can see where I paused the video, this is actually how the smog looks. I'm going to see if I can show some other pictures, but this is how it looks. You have to wear a mask, and the particles that are in the air causes cancer and other respiratory illnesses and diseases. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the video.
8 times what the World Health Organization recommends.
These 2 containers are full of icy water, and the hope is that by releasing them, they will cool down the warmer air below and help to disperse some of the particles. But critics say there is no proof yet that this method actually works.
Okay, So what she's talking about is they actually have planes and they're using water in the air, and they're actually dumping water in the atmosphere to try to help with the smog. Okay, so we will continue there.
This is what it looks like from outside. A white mist sprayed over dusty skies, an altitude of about 5,000 feet.
Have you seen that it's making any kind of difference?
I think it's working, but in the scale of the whole city, I think it helps, but it's not maybe not that much because the air pollution is.
Okay, so I'm actually going to skip ahead a little bit so you can kind of see. Let's see.
Do you think the challenge that this is?
It's like a
In the rice
yes, right, yes, like that.
In the rice, sugarcane, and cornfields, you can see traces of what's causing the pollution. This is a big part of the problem, slash and burn farming. It's a cheap and efficient way to clear the land, but it's hazardous for health. There are rules against it, but they're rarely enforced, and big business is driving up demand. But it's not the only reason people are masking up and schools are closing. The traffic is toxic too. Free public transport, not enough to fix it. Every day in Southeast Asia.
Okay, so guys, this is real. I will tell you, I have woken up and this is what I looked outside and saw. Okay, and to be honest, they don't really show you. I mean, a lot of people, they show you all the beautiful beaches, they show you, you know, the cheap food, and they show you all of the beautiful things to see in Thailand. But this is what you see during burning season. Okay, I kid you not. I wear contacts and I had to change my contacts. Sometimes I've had to change them twice in one day. I mean, you cannot go out during the day. You feel like there are particles in your eyes. You feel like something is stuck in your throat. It's a major problem. And if you have kids or you have any kind of respiratory disease or illnesses, this is very toxic to you. It's very toxic to anyone, but this is what people are not showing you. So when you're watching these videos about, you know, a lot of the YouTubers in Thailand, they don't talk about this. They don't show you this, but this is how Thailand is during burning season. Now, yes, I was supposed to go back there in May, but even after May, I don't know how the air quality is going to be. I'm going to continue to look at the air quality and to see if it's going to continue to get better. But even after burning season, the air quality is still a problem. Okay. People are getting sick. Like thousands of people are having to go to the doctor to have breathing treatments, things like that. You know, just like I said, the schools were closed. They were telling people to stay home because of the air pollution. So this is what people don't tell you. And this is very important because when you go to a country, and even if you're just traveling, could you imagine if you know, you've booked a flight to go to Thailand and you're traveling and you get there and this is what you see? There were a few days where planes were grounded or planes could not land because the smog was so thick in the city. Okay. So just be aware between January and around April or May, this is burning season and this is what it's going to be. But also after May until the rest of the year, you need to always check the air quality to make sure that it's going to be sustainable for you and your family, especially if you have kids, and not just only for your kids, but for yourself as well, because you want to be able to go outside, and you cannot go outside with this. Yes, you can wear a mask, but you know, a mask, then you have to worry about your eyes, and then you don't know if this is also seeping into your skin and your bloodstream as well, right? So this is a major problem in Thailand right now. So if you're planning any trips, you know, this part of the year, I would definitely wait until maybe after May. Okay. So this was the thing that I wanted to touch on today. Let's see what else they say. I think that's
Pollution is
about
linked to the deaths of more than 100 children under 5. A silent killer, perhaps, but in an era when governments know the risks. Cordelia Lynch, Sky News.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so there have been some deaths as well because of this air pollution. A lot of people are having to have breathing treatments. You have to have filtrations in your homes and things like that. And like I say, even after burning season, even after May or after April, you still need to have a filtration system in your house to clean the air quality that's going inside your house, because even after then, the air quality is not that great. Okay, so that's what I wanted you to be aware of. And then also, let's see. So burning season, January to about April or May. Okay. And then usually around, I want to say August or October. Around October, they start to have rainy season. So you have to be aware of rainy season. Now, I like to travel during rainy season because the thing about Thailand in rainy season, and I know it's around October, August to October, it starts in August. And I think it's like from August to December or something like that. I'm not for sure of the exact time, but I remember in October, it was during rainy season. It's okay to travel during rainy season. Price is going to be a lot cheaper during rainy season. Okay. Rainy season does not mean that it's going to rain all day. Okay. Rainy season means that it may rain like for an hour, right? Really hard for an hour. And then it will, stop raining, and then the sun will come out. Okay. So that is rainy season in Thailand. Okay. I'm trying to fix my little thing here. So it's not, it's not going to be all day or anything like that. And, the weather is still really warm, so you can still do activities and things like that. So, I mean, I would encourage you, rainy season to travel to Thailand is a good time to travel, because a lot of people, they wait until the touristic season, which you're going to be waiting in lines for food. The beaches are going to be crowded, things like that. Things are going to be more expensive. Okay, so it's okay to travel during rainy season. I mean, you're not going to like be stuck in the house like the whole entire time, or like I say, if you decide to move there, because it's going to rain all day, because it usually rains like really hard for like 30 minutes, and then it stops, and then the sun comes out, and then it's a beautiful day. Like, I've been to the beach during rainy season, and it would rain, but then it would stop in like 30 minutes. Okay. So those are some things that you really don't have to worry about too much. Um, let's see. Also, I want to make you aware that you cannot drink the water in Thailand. Okay. Just remember that you can't drink the water in Thailand. Um, don't brush your teeth with the water in Thailand. I met a couple, they didn't drink the water, but they decided to brush their teeth with the water, and they got sick and had to go to the hospital. Okay. The water is not filtered, it's not clean. So either you need a filtration system if you're going to be living there on your faucets, or you need to buy water. Okay. So do not drink the water. I mean, I'm not boiling the water. I'm not drinking the water. I just bought bottled water. Okay. So you can't drink the bottled water. I mean, you can't drink the water out of the faucet, but buy water. Let's see. Food. Okay. I want to talk about food as well. The most expensive thing for me was food. Like, I'm very funny. I don't really do buffets, and I don't really like street food. But if street food is your thing, that's fine. You just have to be careful, because it's really easy to get food poisoning. And not just from street food, restaurant food as well. Okay. I got food poisoning while I was there, and I thought I was dying. I thought a devil or the demon was living in my stomach. For 2 weeks, I had these massive cramps. I was throwing up. I was shitting. I was doing all kinds of things. Okay. I'm just telling you, it was the worst pain. It was worse than delivering a baby. I kid you not. I thought I was dying. And people do die of food poisoning. So I would recommend that you always carry some charcoal tablets with you, but also just be aware of where you eat it. And this was from KFC, chicken from KFC. Okay. So just always be aware of what you're eating. And, everyone says the food in Thailand is very cheap, but I will tell you this. Um, you know, yeah, street food is cheap, but I'm not too keen on street food all the time, okay? Because in Thailand and a lot of other countries, you don't have to have like any kind of government paperwork or anything like that. No one is going to come and check to see if the cooking stalls are clean. And I've seen some things, people don't wash their hands. There's not water, clean water. And I've seen people touch money, touch cell phones, touch animals, and then cook people's food on the street and give it to them, okay? I Some places it's okay to eat the street food, but for me, I don't really eat street food. Yes, it's cheap, but guess what? Sometimes you get what you pay for. Okay. So just be aware that just because something is cheap, it doesn't mean that it's going to be good for you. And also, sometimes, the heat there it's hot. Okay. It's very humid there. And sometimes you don't know if that food has been sitting out there for hours in the heat. Okay. That's another way for you to get sick and get food poisoning. So you just need to be aware because they do sell a lot of seafood and, a lot of things like that. And sometimes that stuff is sitting there like in the heat all day. Okay. So just be aware when you're eating street food, yeah, just because it costs $1, you can get a meal for $1. Don't think that it's always the best thing. But I mean, some of the food is okay. I mean, I will admit, some of the street food is okay. But after getting food poisoning, I will tell you, I spent more money on food. I would cook a lot because it is easy to, buy food from the market, fresh vegetables and stuff like that, go to the butcher and stuff. Now, we'll tell you, if you're a beef person and you want some steaks, you're not going to really get that too much there because they don't really have steak there. I'm a little spoiled because I did live in Argentina before going to Thailand. So I love a good steak, but steak is very expensive. I think I went to a restaurant one time to get a steak and I paid, like, with steak and maybe 2 side items, I paid $60. Okay. Because the steak is imported from Australia most of the time. So most people there, like local people that don't really eat steak, if you buy steak, usually it's not going to be fresh. I will tell you this. I mean, every now and then you might can find some fresh steak, but it's going to cost you. Okay. Usually a lot of the steak is frozen. Okay. So just be aware that if you're a steak person, you're not really going to find a lot of like reasonable prices for steak. And as far as cooking, don't look for a stove because most of the places there do not have stoves. That was sort of like a shock for me, I guess, like because I'm used to having a stove. So you usually have just like a stove top or one of those induction, I guess you say induction pans or whatever, where there's one or two eyes where you can cook, sometimes just one, but there's not an oven. Okay, so don't be shocked that you're not going to have an oven because you're not going to have an oven and you're not going to have a bathtub either. Okay, don't look for a bathtub, an oven, or a dryer. Okay, people hang their clothes up in other countries. I had to get used to that. I mean, I did have a all-in-one at one place that I live, so you can get an all-in-one washer and dryer in some of the newer apartments. But for the most part, you're not going to have a bathtub. You're not going to have an oven or a real stove. And you're not going to, of course, you're not going to have a dishwasher. Okay. You can have a regular size refrigerator, but it's not going to be like a big refrigerator like in the US. It's going to be maybe like a college size refrigerator or one that's a little bit bigger. Okay. Like I said, some of the newer apartments that do have full size refrigerators, but they're still not like the huge refrigerators that we're used to in the US. Okay. Also with the beds. I don't like my bed to be too firm, okay? But I will tell you, those beds in Thailand are hard as a damn rock, okay? I don't know what it is. They were like that in Argentina too. They were hard. I mean, I guess some people just, some cultures they just like really firm beds, but I felt like I had been in a car accident after sleeping in those beds after one night. So you can purchase a pillow top for it to make your bed softer, and that's what I did. There are like some stores where you can get a topper, and I think I paid like maybe $40 for a topper for my bed. But that's a must have, especially if you're going to be living there. You're going to need to buy a topper because more than likely, even if the bed is new, you are going to have to have something because my body was so sore. It felt like someone had just been like hitting me all night. I was so sore because the bed was so hard. And I always talk about I always talk about mattress covers. Just be aware that when you travel, most places are not going to have mattress covers. I mean, yeah, I've seen some here and there. Buy you a mattress cover, okay? Don't be sleeping on a bed where other people have been doing their business and sleeping. I just don't trust that people would clean like that. I say this in every video, okay? Um, and let's see. I wanted to also talk about, let's see. So I talked about the water. Oh, and in Thailand, don't don't wear your shoes in your apartment. I mean, yeah, it's for your discretion, but because of their culture, of course, they don't wear shoes in the apartment. I don't wear shoes in my apartment anyways, even when I was in the US, because I think your shoes are like the dirtiest thing on the earth, right? Because you're stepping in all kinds of God knows what. So don't wear your shoes inside. Some stores will tell you to take your shoes off before you go inside. There are some temples, of course, where you're going to have to take your shoes off before you go inside. And you will also notice that they're always cleaning their floors. They're cleaning their sidewalks with Clorox. The floor, having a clean floor is part of their culture. And, like I say, you're going to have to get used to taking your shoes off and things like that. So that's another thing. Just remember. Also, ordering food. I want to talk about this. Okay, so you can order food in Thailand and get it delivered by, okay, I'm trying to not remember. Okay, it's Glovo here, Grab. I can't remember the delivery system. Bolt, I think. I know Bolt is there for, I think it's Bolt and Grab. You can order food, and they might have some other things, but also Bolt and Grab you can use for transportation. But they also deliver food, Bolt and Grab. Okay, so they deliver food on their scooters and things like that. Okay, look, when you order food in other countries, it's not going to be the same as ordering food in the US. Okay, in the US, the customer is always right. You can scratch that when you get to another country. You can order something in a country, and if it's not right or you don't like the taste, you're still going to have to pay for it. Okay, in the US, if you tell them, oh, my chicken is dry or it's overcooked or something like that, they may give you something else, or they even may tell you, oh, okay, don't worry about it, it's on us. No. Okay, so when you're ordering food, I would advise, before you start ordering food, find restaurants that you've tried before to make sure that the food is up to your standard, right? Make sure it's things that you like, because once you go to another country, sometimes they add spices and they add ingredients that you're not used to. Okay, and one thing about Thailand is they love fish sauce. They will put fish sauce on bread if they had to. Okay. And I don't eat seafood. So I definitely don't want my food tasting like fish, or I don't want anything spicy. They like fish sauce and they like things that are spicy and sweet. Okay. So you just have to make sure that your food is not too spicy or that it's not sweet. And, sometimes you're not going to always get what you ask for. Okay. I ordered a pizza one time. I ordered a margarita pizza and I wanted them to add chicken. Okay. And it's funny now. It wasn't funny then. So when I got my pizza, it had hot dogs on it. And one of my friends there in Thailand, she was like, well, maybe they're chicken hot dogs. Okay. And there was nothing I could really do about it. Yes, you can complain in the app and you can tell them that you got the wrong order. They might give you a discount, they may not. Okay. So just be aware that sometimes you're just not going to get what you ask for. Okay. And also, if you are doing business or something, things are going to be a lot slower. People in other countries, they do things on their own time. Okay. Let's say you're having a problem with something in your apartment or you make an appointment. If they say they're coming tomorrow, they may not even get there for another 2 days. Okay. So things are not going to happen when you want them to happen. They happen on their own time. Okay. So you really have to get used to that slower pace of life, because it's not like, oh, I'm going to call them about my toilet not working and they're going to come here tomorrow or today. No, it may be a whole week. Okay. So just remember that, not just Thailand, any country you go to, things are a lot slower. And I had to get used to that because in the US, we're like, yes, they're supposed to be here this time, blah, blah, blah. Mm-mm. No. So you have to wait. Okay. Also, when you're walking, just be careful because their electrical system where they're like, what is it called? Poles. They're poles for light poles and stuff. It's not like in the US and some of the European countries, okay? You got to watch where you're walking because light poles are here and the lines are, and I'm 5'3", okay? So there was some times where I was walking, I had to duck because the power lines are just like hanging, okay? So just be aware. It's not the greatest electrical system there. Their lines are hanging all over the place. Sometimes they're all over the ground. So just be aware of where you're walking. The streets are not, always paved really well. And a lot of times there's not any sidewalks. So you have to be aware of holes and things. Just be careful of where you're walking and things like that. Pay attention to where you're walking on streets and highways and things like that, because you don't want to like step into a manhole because there's not going to be any signs that say, go around, or there's not going to be any cones if there's a manhole that's open or anything like that. Okay, so you just have to be careful about where you're walking. Let's see. So air conditioners. So air conditioners in not just Thailand, I've noticed in Europe as well, they don't have central air or central heat like we do in the US. Okay. Ooh, I miss that central air and that central heat. Okay. So, oh my God, this thing got hot in here. It's been snow here for like 9 or 10 days. The sun is out and I'm drinking tea and so I'm sweating. But yeah, so they don't have central heat and central air. So they have standalone air conditioning systems, which also heat as well. So sometimes you might have one for your whole entire apartment if you have a studio, or you might have one in the bedroom and one in the living room. Okay. Now, the building itself, like outside of your apartment, usually, sometimes it just depends. Sometimes they'll have air conditioning in the rest of the building. So if you walk out of your apartment, a lot of times there's not going to be any air conditioning. It's going to be hot as shit. The only thing that's going to be cool is your apartment. Okay. So some of the newer buildings, yes, they do have the central air conditioning in the rest of the building outside of your apartment. So yeah, so usually people, if they're only in one room, they keep the air conditioner only on in that room. Okay. And as far as like, I want to say, as far as like electric bills and stuff, it just depends on how big your room, they say room, but how big your apartment is. I think at the time I paid less than $50 a month, maybe $30 a month for electricity. Okay. And I think you can get internet for like $15 or $20. Apartments, it depends. Okay. It depends on your living standards. You can get an apartment for $200 a month, $300 a month for on up. Okay. I know in Bangkok, it's a bigger city. It's more well developed. I used to live in Chiang Mai and I also lived in Phuket. But I would say in Bangkok, you can get a really nice apartment with a pool, a gym, and like co-working spaces and things like that. You can get like a studio apartment for like $300, right? A brand new, like built within the last few years, for like $300, and they go up, 500, 600, whatever you're looking for. Okay. So yeah, the infrastructure, I think in some areas of Thailand, it's better than others. Okay. Like I say, you can get an older apartment probably for $200. It depends on what you're looking for. You can spend as much or as little as you want. It depends on, your comfortability and what you're looking for. Okay. Let's see. Oh, also, if you are, I'm just looking at my notes here. I never had a big issue with like mosquitoes in Thailand, but I will tell you, you need to check with your physician to see what types of vaccines that you need to get before leaving your country. Okay. As far as the US, I will tell you, I had all my vaccines before I went to Asia because our environments are completely different. and our bodies are resistant to certain things that are in your environment. Once you start to go out of your environment, if you're, it's easy for you to get sick or to, to get an infection and things like that. So I remember I had like a typhoid vaccine, and some of the other ones I had already had, because I was a nurse and I worked in nursing and things like that. But so a lot of vaccines you need to check before you leave your country, whether it's the US or whether it's Europe. You need to check what vaccines you need to get before you go to Thailand. Okay. Because and some people don't believe in vaccines. If you don't believe in vaccines, that's okay. But me personally, I made sure that I had all my vaccines and things before I left. But as far as mosquitoes, I don't know. I never really gotten bit too much with mosquitoes. My thing were those little geckos. I think that's what they're called. They look like little lizards. I'm scared to death of those. You guys have to excuse me. I'm scared to death of those. I'm scared of anything that looks like a lizard or looks like a snake or a spider or rats. I'm scared of all of those things. So those little geckos can get inside of your apartment, and at night they're all over. Even during the day, they're all over the place. But I had to get used to that. As far as anything else, I really didn't have too many issues with like any insects and things like that. I will say, you'll see like, other stray animals and things like that. But those are the only thing. A couple of times I did get some of those geckos inside of my apartment, and they even had some gecko spray. I think I'm saying those right, geckos or geckos or whatever. They even had some spray. I had to buy some spray, and I think the spray kind of like kills them or something. But I don't do insects too well. So just be aware that those can get inside of your apartment too. Um, as far as shopping, you can buy anything you want in Thailand. Now, I will say, like in Phuket and like Chiang Mai, it may be a little bit more difficult to get clothes like for a girl like me. Okay, I'm a very curvy girl, and I have big feet. Okay, I wear a size 9 or 9.5 shoe to be 5'3". Okay, so I'm a curvy girl, and so Thai people are very small, but I will say once you start getting like to some of the other areas, some of the Thai people are actually a little heavier. But sometimes it can be difficult to buy clothes. So I would say like in Bangkok, of course, you can get clothes and stuff like in bigger cities, but sometimes it might be a little difficult for you to find clothes for men and women, especially Americans and Europeans, because Thai people are very petite. So you can also, like I said, you can go to Bangkok. There are a lot of stores and things like that. You can also order off of Lazada, which is like Amazon. Um, and you can also order off of Temu, and then they have some other sites and stuff that you can order. And usually Temu and Lazada, I think they usually deliver in like 2 to 3 days. Okay. And like I said, there may be some other ways that you can order clothes and things like that. And women, you can order hair, you can order, it's going to be difficult to find makeup. I think in Bangkok you can find makeup. I usually take my own makeup, but you can find just about anything, any kind of hair products, any clothes, anything you want on Lazada and Temu. And then, like I say, there's some other places that you can get things ordered and delivered. And the thing about delivery is you can either pay online or they will deliver your stuff and you can pay when they deliver it. And sometimes if you live in an apartment or something like that, they will actually pay for you, and then you just have to pay them when you go downstairs to pick up your package. So you don't have to pay it exactly when you order it, but when they deliver it, usually they'll send you an email or they'll try to call you or a text or something, and you can actually pay for it with cash, when it's delivered. Okay, so that's something that I wasn't used to. I'm like, they don't want their money first. So they will send you your thing, send you your items, and then you just pay for it on delivery, which I thought was pretty good. Let's see, what else did I want? Oh, so also Thailand is a very big LGBTQ community. Okay, so if you got a problem with that, I wouldn't advise you going. Okay, I love everyone. okay, just as they are, because we all bleed the same. Or, so I love everyone, regardless of your sexual preference or anything, your religion and things like that. So just don't be shocked because it is a very big LGBTQ community, okay? And they have a lot of, drag shows, which I love, okay? They have a lot of entertainment and things like that. They even have like a lot of dance competitions and things like that. So just, I just want you guys to know that as well. And also, if you are part of the LGBTQ community, I'd be forgetting that Q. But if you are a part of that community, Thailand is also an excellent place for you to go and party and just feel comfortable because it's a very welcoming community for everyone. Okay. Um, let's see. Oh, also, so before COVID, okay, during COVID, Thailand, their economy is based on tourism, like 90%, I think. Okay. So during COVID, they were shut down completely for 3 years, right? So of course it really destroyed their economy. So Thailand was like, look, we gotta find a way to get people to come back to our country and for people to keep coming back. Okay. So now marijuana is legal in Thailand. And when I say legal, when I went there in 2022, I think that was the first year that it was legal. Okay. They came out with that marijuana with a vengeance. Okay. You got cafes, you got that sell like infused coffee, infused drinks. You can buy infused cookies, infuse anything you want. And when I say there is a store or a cafe I would say every 10 steps, okay? You can get whatever you want. People are standing on side of the street. They got their little booth set up in the mall. They have everything. So if you are, a person that participates in that as well, then you can go there and you can be free and you can sit by the beach. Now, I will say they do have some rules and regulations of, marijuana usage there, so you have to kind of be careful. I think in some areas you might not be able to, you might not be able to use it, but just make sure that you look on the laws, at their laws. Okay. That's another thing. When you go into a country, go on the website, use Google, whatever you need to do, and see what the laws and regulations are of that country and also the religion, right? Because you want to make sure that you're not doing anything that you shouldn't be doing just because it's legal in the US, or just because you think you can do it in the US, you can't do it in other countries. Okay. So just be aware. Okay. And I'm going to say this, not just for the ladies, you cannot take sex toys to Thailand. I will repeat, it is illegal to have sex toys in Thailand. How is that possible? I don't know. Marijuana is legal, prostitution is legal, but you cannot have sex toys. Okay. So if you got any sex toys or anything like that, take it out of your take it out of take it out of your luggage before you get on the plane. Take it out of your purse. Do not travel with that stuff in your purse. And for some flights, you have to fly to Qatar. Okay, that's in the Middle East. That's a no-no in the Middle East too. So make sure you do not have any sex toys in your luggage. Okay? Because your luggage, they will check your luggage and they will take things out of your luggage. Okay? I knew someone that was getting some things shipped to Thailand, and there was some sex toys and just some other things that she was getting shipped from home because you can't buy sex toys in Thailand. Now, so you just have to be careful. Well, I will say this. She was getting her stuff shipped and it was stopped in, immigration. Okay. They were like, no, we can't let you receive these items. So I will say this again. Do not take any sex toys in your luggage to Thailand or any Middle Eastern countries. Okay. They might tell you can't come in. I don't know if you're gonna get locked up or anything, but just be aware of that. Okay. Like I said, I don't understand that. You know, marijuana is legal, prostitution is legal, sex toys, illegal. Okay. Let's see. And also, I would say that if you love music and you love hiking and festivals and things like that, Thailand is a good place to go because they always have like flower festivals and music festivals and even concerts. Like there are some really big, music people that go to Thailand for concerts and stuff like that, music stars and stuff like that. So, they have things like that as well. Now, hiking, of course, and of course you can see the temple. So you can do anything there that you would be able to do in any other place. Okay. And it's really easy to find things to do without having to like pay a lot of money. Okay. Networking is very easy because I was not aware until I got there of how diverse Thailand is. Okay. Yes, Buddhist, they're Buddhist, right? So Buddhism is their religion, but not for everyone. Okay. So some people, they're Buddhist, some people are Christians, some people are Muslim, some people are, what is it? I can't think of the other one. So they have different types of religion there. Okay. So you'll feel comfortable. I was really shocked because I thought that everyone there was Buddhist. I mean, but as Americans, we only know what we see on TV, right? That's the beauty of traveling. I've learned so much. But yeah, so they're a very diverse place. There are people there from the US. There are people that live there from Europe, from India, from Australia, and everyone is really nice. It's really easy to network and get to know people and hang out with people and things like that. Okay, and they play all kinds of different music. They got DJs from all over the world. So if you like to party, you can get your party on. Okay, whatever you like to do. If you're like one of those Bangla Road people and you like to hang out on Bangla Road, over there in Phuket, you can do that, right? If you like to go to you know hiking or scuba diving, things like that, they have all of those activities you can do too. All right, so I want to talk about visas. Okay, so let me drink my tea. Mm. So visas change. Their visas policies change all the time. Okay, so when I first went there in 2022, I was there from 2022 to 2023. So you got a visa on arrival. It was just a stamp. Okay. And you could only stay for 45 days. And then after 45 days, you could go to immigration and you could pay your 1900 baht, I think, which is like $50 or something like that. And you could get an extended stay of 30 days. Okay. And then they changed it back to 30 days on arrival. But I just checked and it's changed again for Americans. So I just checked. So Americans you can go to Thailand for 60 days. Okay. So 60 days. After 60 days, you can go to immigration. So you get a visa on arrival for 60 days. After 60 days, you can go to immigration office. And I would tell you when you go to immigration office, you're going to need passport photos. So I always make sure that I have extra passport photos in my luggage. So you're going to need 2 passport photos. I think it's called TM1 form or something. You have to fill out, you have to get a form from where you're living, right? So your landlord has to fill out this form showing that you live there when you arrive. So you have to get that form printed out from your landlord. You need two passport pictures. Of course, you're going to need your passport. And you're also going to have to fill out another form while you're there. Okay. They don't really require a lot of things. So after your 60 days now, you can go to immigration and you can get another 30 days. Okay. So that's 90 days. Okay. But after you go to immigration that one time, you can do one of 2 things. You can either do a visa run by land, right? So there are companies that will take you to Myanmar, that will take you to Laos or somewhere like that. You do a border run on a bus with other people. and you go to the next border. They stamp your passport, you pay your little fee, I don't know, $10, $15, and then you turn around and come back, and then you reset. You get 60 more days, and then you can go to immigration again, right? Get another 30 days. Now, I will tell you this, you can only do 2 land border runs per year, okay? So you can only use a company twice in 1 year to do a land border run, which means that you are traveling by land, right? Now, unlimited border runs or unlimited ways to stay is to fly and go somewhere. Okay. So after 90 days, you can fly to Vietnam. The flights are cheap, right? They're very cheap. They're not expensive. You can get a round trip ticket sometime for less than $120. I don't know, something like that. All right. So that's unlimited. So you can fly in and out as much as you want to and get reset for now. Okay. But I wouldn't advise, maybe you can do it for maybe a year. But I would say that after a year, maybe try to consider like one of their other visas. They have some retirement visas. You can look into that. They have some education visas where you can take Thai language, or you can do Mai Thai or something like that. And so you can get some extended visas. Okay, so I would definitely look into that. I mean, like I said, border runs are okay for a year, but if you're planning on staying there permanently, whether you want to be a teacher or something like that, try to get like in some type of education or work visa or something like that. So 2 land border runs, and then you can fly out as much as you want to. Okay. Let's see. I think that's about it that I wanted to talk about. But as far as the people and the culture, let me tell you something. I've probably been to 25, 30 countries, and I've learned so much because in the US, we only know what people show us on TV or what we think of the rest of the world. And I was so stunned when traveling, not just traveling for vacation, because you have to remember, a lot of times people travel for vacation and they're just staying in resorts and they're not really going into they're not really going and talking to the local people and things like that. So when I'm living in a place 3 months or 6 months or a year, I actually get to become friends with local people, and I actually get into their culture and their society and things like that. It's nothing like what we thought in the US, right? It's very different. And people are so nice. People are so nice. The Thai people are the nicest people in the world. I'm going to tell you that again. Thai people are my favorite people in the world because they always smile. They're always speaking to you. Savadika, kamkumka. Like they're always saying, please, thank you, hello, how are you? Like they are always willing to help you. They are some of the nicest people in the world. And every country you go to, people are not like that. Okay. So once you start going to other countries, sometimes if people don't know you, they're not going to talk to you. They're not going to speak to you. But a Thai person is always smiling. It's the land of smiles, and that's true, right? And so just remember, when it comes to like medical treatment, dental treatment, it's very easy to get those things done. If you're sick, you can go to the pharmacy and you can ask for, what you need there without a prescription, or you can see, usually the pharmacist can tell you what you need to take. Okay. Not like the US and you got to go to the doctor, got to pay a co-payment and do all it. No, you can just go. Okay. Most of their malls are going to have dentist office inside their malls, right? They're going to have, if you want to get Botox, you can get Botox. If you want to get lip injections, if you want to get your lashes done, if you want to just go to a regular doctor, they have like doctor's offices and medical offices in most of their malls. Okay. It's very easy if you want to get braces or you need to get some dental work done, it's very convenient and it's inexpensive. Okay. But like I say, living in Thailand, yes, the cost of living is a lot lower than other places, but remember, it depends on what you're looking for. It can be as cheap as you want it to be, or it can be as expensive as you want it to be. It's contingent on what you're looking for. But I will tell you that they are very welcoming to everyone. Okay. They're very welcoming to everyone, and they are always willing to help you with anything. Okay. And you can find whatever you need there when it comes to clothes, when it comes, like I say, with makeup, you have to maybe go to a bigger city like Bangkok, especially if you are African American or, you have dark skin, but you can find anything that you want there. And what I've noticed too, like Neutrogena products, like Neutrogena is very expensive in the US, but in Thailand is a lot cheaper, right? And like I say, you got your Lazadas and you have your Temus and all of these other things, so you can order things. Okay. So yeah, just remember, before you go to Thailand, just check. Look, get you a download the air quality app, right? You can look, and you can download that, or you can just Google it and look online. But check the air quality at least, a month or so before you decide to travel. Because like I say, right now it's really bad because it's burning season, but even after burning season, sometimes the air quality is not that good. So just remember that before you, book your flight. Okay. Because the worst thing is to book a flight to go somewhere and you get there and you can't go outside or you can't do any activities, or the city is almost completely shut down, or you just feel like you can't do anything because you can't see because of the smog and you can't breathe, and it's a danger to you and the people that are around you. So that's important. I didn't mean for this to be like an hour long, but I just wanted to let you guys know, before you go to Thailand, that's what you need to do. Get your vaccinations, right? Check with your physician to see what things you need. And also, if you're African American or something like that, it's not that difficult to find hair products and things like that, but make sure you take your makeup. And, like I say, you can find other things. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for today, Bellaocity. Thank you guys for joining in with me. And like I say, book that trip to Thailand, but just make sure that you are aware of the things that we talked about today to make your trip even more enjoyable. All right. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope that you have a great week. Until next time, stay blessed, and I hope that everyone stays in good health and strength. Have a good day.